Welcome to another episode of Smile Sessions. Last time, I shared with you my C-section delivery and welcoming my son into the world. This week, I'll be taking you through the emotional roller coaster of my first few days post-op, including moving into a private room, visiting Leo in the NICU, and the incredible support from the NICU nurses and my partner. I'll also share some essential tips for showering and walking after a C-section and the importance of being mindful when speaking to women postpartum. Stay tuned as we dive into these experiences and more. On August 10th, I was given good news that a private room had opened up and that I would be moving that morning. I was so thankful because sharing a room with another person post-op when you're trying to get some rest before they send you home to the real world is very important. Visitors came to the hospital, but it wasn't the same not having Leo in the room with me. We would have to go down to the NICU to see him, and he was in the incubator hooked up to breathing monitors. The nurses said it was good that I was up and walking around. They encouraged it, saying it would help with the healing process. One of Leo's nurses gave me some excellent advice on how to get up from a seated position without putting additional stress on my abdomen. Essentially, it was leaning all of my weight towards my feet before lifting myself up. Those nurses in the NICU, I swear, are angels on earth. They are special individuals, that's for sure. Their compassion towards the babies, but more so the families, is so inspiring. Their comfort helps so many during a very stressful time. The first time I had to shower after my C-section, I was so apprehensive and nervous that I was going to pop my stitches open. Thankfully, I have a very caring partner who was so great about helping me into the shower and assisting me to bathe. Allowing my partner to help me shower after my C-section was a deeply emotional experience. I've always prided myself on being independent and headstrong, so having to rely on someone else was a very strange and uncomfortable feeling. It was a humbling moment, but it was also a reminder of strength and support in our relationship. Despite the initial awkwardness, it brought us closer and made me appreciate the care and love we share. It was nice to have someone to depend on. My childhood bestie, Ivana, texted him to thank him for taking care of me. This was extremely important to me because it showed how my best friend and my partner were creating a supportive network for me, and that made me feel very much loved. The reason why it's especially important to take care of your incision is to promote healing and prevent infection. Here are some tips for showering. You can usually start showering between 24 to 48 hours after your surgery, but always follow your doctor's specific advice. Use warm water to avoid irritating the incision, a mild, gentle soap, and avoid scrubbing the incision area directly. Instead, let the soapy water run all over it and pat the incision area dry with a clean towel. Avoid rubbing the area in order to prevent irritation. If you go home with a dressing, which is a bandage, change the dressing over your cut once a day or sooner if it gets damp or wet. Your provider will tell you when to stop keeping your wound covered. I felt so amazing after my shower and changing into fresh pajamas. I was also taking more walks over to the NICU to feed Leo. My milk hadn't come in yet, so I was supplementing with formula. Walking after a C-section is crucial for several reasons. It helps to improve blood flow, which is essential for preventing blood clots, especially in the legs. It can help relieve gas pains and promote bowel movements, making you feel more comfortable. Gentle walking helps to retrain your abdomen muscles and supports overall muscle tone. Increased blood flow from walking delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your body, which accelerates recovery and wound healing. Walking can help prevent post-surgical complications like pneumonia and constipation. It's important to start with a short, gentle walk and gradually increase the duration and intensity as you feel more comfortable. Always follow your doctor's advice on when to start walking after your surgery. Later that day, I have to say, I was really looking forward to my uncle and cousin coming to the hospital. my uncle promised me a construction-sized mortadella sandwich with Italian cheese, with mayonnaise and lettuce, which I absolutely love. The reason for the specific request is because while I was pregnant, I was told not to eat deli meats because of risk of listeria. He promised the same thing to my sister, so 5 months prior, she also got this fantastic sandwich. Head over to my Instagram page at Smile Sessions with Christina Perry to see my photo of me enjoying this sandwich. 48 hours post-op, they wanted to discharge me from the hospital, but Leo would have to remain in the NICU for a few more days. I was fortunate that there was a parent unit with a bed available that I could stay in so that I could be close to Leo. I wasn't feeling great. I had a terrible headache and I was feeling anxious. My nurse did check my blood pressure and vitals prior to my discharge just as a precaution. Once cleared, my partner moved my belongings over to my new room. On the third day, I met with the audiologist who did Leo's hearing test. She told me he failed on his left ear. My heart sank. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that they were conducting a test. She quickly mentioned that this happens often, especially with children born via C-section, so my anxiety came down a bit. Hearing tests for infants are typically done using two main methods: autoacoustic emissions and automated auditory brainstem response. Both are safe, painless, and usually performed while the baby is asleep or calm. Autoacoustic emissions is a small earbud that's placed in the baby's ear. Sounds are played through the earbud, and a microphone measures the echo that comes back from the inner ear. If the baby hears normally, an echo is detected. If there's significant hearing loss, no echo or a reduced echo is measured. Automated auditory brainstem response are small electrodes that are placed on the baby's head. Sounds are played through the earphones, and the electrodes measure the brain's response to these sounds. If the baby hears normally, a response is detected. If there's significant hearing loss, no response is detected. These tests are usually done before the baby leaves the hospital. But if your baby is born at home or in a birthing center, you can schedule a hearing screening with your pediatrician. Since Leo needed to be retested, we had rescheduled an appointment with public health to see him in the community when he's approximately 2 weeks old. After speaking to my sister and my bestie Stacy, which, by the way, it is so great to have a bestie who is a nurse, they calmed my nerves about his hearing. My hormones were all over the place. It's important to be mindful when speaking to women postpartum because they're going through a significant amount of physical, emotional, and psychological transition. Here are a few reasons why sensitivity is crucial. Postpartum women experience significant hormone fluctuations, which can affect their mood and emotions. They're healing from childbirth, which can be physically exhausting and painful. Many women experience baby blues, and some may develop postpartum depression or anxiety. These conditions can make them feel vulnerable or overwhelmed. Becoming a mother involves a major shift in identity and responsibilities, which can be both rewarding and challenging. New mothers often face severe sleep deprivation, which can impact their emotional resilience and overall well-being. Being supportive, non-judgmental, and offering help can make a big difference. Simple acts of kindness and understanding can go a long way in helping them navigate this challenging period. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey through my first few days post-op and the incredible support I received from the NICU nurses at North York General Hospital, my partner, and my loved ones. Remember, it's essential to take care of yourself and lean on your support network during challenging times. Next week, I'll cover Leo's follow-up hearing test and the stressful doctor's appointments in his first month. Stay tuned as we continue to navigate this journey together, finding strength and inspiration in every step. Until then, take care and keep smiling.